Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy. Today is Wednesday. Let me get that up for you. Wednesday, January 26th. It is almost 6 p.m. Eastern here. We had a technical difficulties yesterday after the market closed with our charts, and that's why we didn't have a video, but it is what it is. Today we're late from the same issues, but we got it all resolved now. So let's get right into it with the micros market recap here, starting with micro oil. What a day today. What a day, past few days, right? Starting Friday, I believe. Crazy, right? So here we opened up, gap up from the range or close or main body, whatever you want to refer to, in oil. At the open, it made a somewhat of a move down. Not quick move, I would say. This is 10 minutes. Relatively slow today in oil. And then found a floor and decided to come up. This was the news announcement over here. Not a ton of participation in it. Usually this thing will go, in oil with its news, but just not much going on. It did find support again off of our levels here. You can see it once, twice. That one was the news. You shouldn't be trading around news anyways, quite frankly. You don't know what you're doing anyways. But boom, monster winner on that last one. And it just stayed up there in what we refer to as white space for quite a while. And then came back into pretty much the open just before the close, or let's see here, 14:30, yeah. But not a whole lot of action in oil. It's pretty slow. Gold, quite frankly, I didn't pay a ton of attention to today. My attention was on the equities for the most part, just watching them. We opened in balance in gold, so pretty close to the close, I want to say, from yesterday. We went right to it and then melted down, blew past that, so sellers definitely were in charge and stepping in front of that, and then held at our level first time back to it. Still holding. It was a struggle, but it held, and then boom, and then we got that afternoon news coming out. If anyone was watching the markets, margin calls for a lot of people. But yeah, and then it kind of just melted down, and this is where we are in the overnight. That hasn't officially begun yet. Post-market, I should say. Now, equities. This is where the action was at. All right, so I quickly scrolled back for us because it was quite a bit going on today. So we technically, by default, opened gap up by all definitions in the ES. We made a quick run down back towards the close or the range, I would say. Technically, we got into the overall range, found support, and this was pretty mild this morning compared to these past few days. So it wasn't really cruising a ton. We had, it holding time in these bars. That's the first 30 minutes from here, that way, from the open. So pretty decent, and that's kind of to be expected on these big Fed days. But you can see we're just all over the place. They're not really deciding where they want to go, but we have the supports that from our levels holding quite well. And then what do we see? We start seeing the big playbooks, the anticipation of what the news will bring, at 2:30, and these big boys are starting to pick up the pace during lunch. And then what happens? We got that news, and look, this is no joke. We are not very far from the open. You can see 11 o'clock here, right? 11:07 over here. We opened at 9:30, keep in mind. This is that 2 o'clock over here. We're going to watch this. Just a ton a ton of price action. Look at the size of these bars. We went below the low of the day and we did 2/3 of the range within 30 minutes of what we did previously. And then as it just wore on, we just went lower and lower. We didn't get any lower than yesterday's range, but you can see our levels are holding astonishingly good. Oh, I wonder how we do that, right? There's a reason why we're the best in the business with our trading education here. But it's just astonishing. We did end up closing net positive for the day compared to where we closed yesterday. So there's that for you. But it was just a ton of participation. You can see the overnight opening up right now. And now NASDAQ was no exception. It also had that. It was slow in the morning. Like I said, it was slow in the morning comparatively, right? So it seemed like a normal day in the morning for most part of how it, the price action going, again, support holding. But man, once that starts kicking in, it's just insane. But again, with the NASDAQ, we opened gap up. I didn't show where we opened. Well, I did, but I'm not going to scroll back to it. But we had that run down, and then we came back up, and this is where we are now. But it was just, seemed normal, and it was kind of to be expected, like I said before, with that news coming out, that anticipation of volatility, and like you can just watch it. It's going to start kicking in here shortly. Boom. Look at the size of this bar. So this is a 610 tick. That means there are 610 trades for each bar. That doesn't mean that there were 610 contracts. There could be more. Or, even less. Well, I don't know technically about less because you have minimum of one, right? One hole, so no less than 610. But anyways, I digress. 14, 5, 23, 75, 14, 474, 50, right? It's 75. What was that? 74.50, and then top was 23. We're talking almost 50 points for a bar in not even, let's see, 1359, 14. It doesn't compute because I was watching this and that was less than a millisecond. That was quick, right? So it's saying it's about a minute, but it's less than a minute that thing developed. It was all over the place. And watch again. So we did 50. That was probably another 25 right there. 30 easy. Or I might even have my math off for all I know because those look way larger than 50 points to me. But look at the size. And then we haven't seen things like this for a while. And I'm sure we'll see more. But again, they're holding. These areas are holding. Even with the volatility that's going on. Look how well our HVAs are holding. I have to put that in there just because we didn't do these after the fact. We did these the night before. If you watch any of our videos, you just go and watch the videos where we do our win-losses, right? We have the market profile methodology and then the Dan O'Brien's Karnak. And you'll see that we put this stuff out the night before for our students. Look at the size. And then, again, doing the majority of that move within 20 minutes. It's crazy. Hashtag not rigged markets. But much like the ES, we did finish on a positive net exchange from close to close in the micro NASDAQ. So up in NASDAQ, up in the ES, down in gold and up in oil was how we finished. But that's to wrap it up. That is our micros market recap. If you're interested in finding out more information about these levels that we give our students the night before, follow us on Facebook. Go to our website at targettradingacademy.com. Get in touch with a representative. They'll gladly show you the ropes, and you'll quickly come to see for yourself why we are the #1 trading education company in the world. We look forward to seeing you in our rooms.